Good afternoon, Team Movement Snacking. You're with me, Leverton, Kelsey Leverton. Are you ready to movement snack? Hopefully you are. And if you can't stand any more of my Bond stuff, just off that little snippet what I gave you there, fast forward this bit, get straight into the circulation booster. And then you've got your octopus sway and a stretch sequence at the end, as always. Same structure on this 4 p.m. The only difference is we have a new sway routine every week, and this is day 2 of our octopus sway routine. Hello, Mrs. Perry. Hello, Ken Green. How are you today? I've been expecting you. Yes, Mr. Green, Miss Perry, Miss Coote, I've been expecting you. I don't know whether you saw my welcome message, but Bond's been on this in the cinema, hasn't it? We went to see it the other day. And with the Octopussy is being a name of one of the Bond series, then I just had to do it, didn't I? I just had to make that tenuous link from our octopus sway routine and Octopussy, the Bond film. It's one of the hammiest Bond films ever, though. I watched the trailer, and that's the one that I shared on our Facebook group as well. Hi, Ian, you're right. Hi, Maddie, as well. Welcome in, come on in. So, and I got you some kind of, I've ripped off a few Bond quotes from the trailer from Octopussy. The snack that tops it all. Have a look at the what was it? The advert for when the film came out. Have a look at it, and you'll recognise some of these that I'm actively ripping off. There's the "I've been expecting you," which is it's there. We've been expecting you, Mr. Bond. Have you got a reservation? Of course, he's got a reservation. He's always got a reservation anywhere he goes, hasn't he? One of the ones was hitting you with an all-time high of movement snacking. There's another one for you. Oh, and this is my personal favourite. 007, licence to movement snack. Leverton, Kelsey Leverton. Right, I promise, that'll do. I'm done. Thank you for humouring me, everybody. I might do the little song afterwards, you know, the I'll finish you off with that. I'll send you off on that one, and you can have that earworm in your ear hole bugging you for the rest of the evening. I have just for the last 20 odd minutes or so just been singing it round the house to myself as well. So everyone's well out the way. Willow's so far out the way she's gone to Kibworth up the road, but we have got a new house guest as well today. We've got a little mouse that I saved from the jaws of doom, i.e. Napoleon's mouth, as he was trying to bring it home as a present for us. So I shall be freeing him later, presuming it's a boy mouse. And right, Carol's looking forward to our octopus sway. I've got some footsteps in it for you next. Carol Watson's in. Good afternoon to you. Gillian with a J, and I think I've said Ian hi. Right. Are you ready to snack? Movement snack. Here we go. And we're just going to go straight in with Ted Rogers. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. It's 4 p.m. or I'm guessing it's 4 p.m. It can't be far off. What's 30 seconds or so between friends? You're with me, Leverton, Kelsey Leverton, for our octopus sway routine and our stretch. Bit of circ boost to begin with, as always, though, on today, which is Tuesday, the 12th of October, 2021. I'll leave you to carry on messaging. I'll catch up with all of your messages later. Hello, Carolyn. Right, but enough of all the hellos and the silly Bond theme thingy. It's time to snack, isn't it? So if you would like to, starting seated, Let's just do a bit of a posture check here. So you're sitting high onto your bum bones, lifting through the waistline, lifting the rib cage, relaxing the shoulders. Take some hip walks forwards. And if you're in standing, just do the same there through your upper body and middle of your posture. Feet are around hip distance apart, and we'll just start with some simple, easy peasy foot pedals. Let's just get the legs moving a little bit. We can progress from here in a few moments, but just stand or sit with good posture and just let the legs do the work there for a moment. If you're in standing, you'll probably need a little bit of support available to you, even if you don't use it so much anymore. And that support can be in front of you, to the side of you, or with this particular progression onto our sway routine, if you have got a bit of support that you can get hold of both sides of you, if you need it of course, then that might be quite useful. And it will help the transition from one side of our octopus sway routine to the other. My legs have automatically progressed into leg marches, yours have too, but if they haven't, give them a prompt, picking up the knees a bit more, and you should feel like you're rolling through the feet. So it's not so flat-footed. If you're on a wooden or a stone floor, you might hear two sounds. You'll hear dudum, which is your ball of your foot and then your heel going down into the floor, rather than one sound. Upper body can get involved if it likes, with support to begin with if you want. Fix at the elbow, and here we have the elbow driving backwards, the arm staying quite close to the body, and the movement coming from your shoulder areas. Feel free to get both arms involved. If you feel steady, we don't want this to feel like a balance challenge. So if it starts to make you feel unsteady at all, just bring a point of bringing your hand back down to external support and just keep going, working between the arms one at a time. Now when seated, you might be feeling it in your hips a little bit, or if your posture's sinking down, just give the legs a little bit of a pause there and a bit more focus through the upper body. Any movements that you want to make bigger will slow down a little bit. So these bigger movements will put a little bit more energy into what you're doing. It might make you lift your heart rate a little bit more, and your breathing rate may change a little bit more, but just make sure that you're not huffing and puffing. I am a little bit, because I don't think I breathed very much through all that talking and moving. But do remember, take a few deep breaths, control your breathing if you're getting out of puff a little bit, or bring your movement down much smaller, slower, singular with the legs or with the arm swings. And we are going to bring that to a stop now anyway. Take a pause there. Now, whatever we do in standing can be completely replicated in seated. So feel free to stay here in your active working position and posture and just keep the feet flat. There will be some leg options coming up, but it's up to you in seated if you'd like to take them on or not. Right, starting then with just a position of your feet about hip distance apart. You can hold on to your support. And what we're going to do are 3 little octopus floats, just low level, 1 to the forwards position, 1 to the side, and then 1 to the back. And then just take that round again with the same arm if you like. You can't come in, Dad. I'm busy doing movement snacking. Take that one more time round. And then if you'd like, bring your other hand onto the support and take it round with that second side. So it's a floaty arm. Let me come a little bit closer there. You can see it going out to the side. The wrist is leading. It's the same when you go to the back. You can see the wrist is leading and the palm is facing. When you go to the back, the palm kind of faces forwards, look. There we go. Take 1/3 round through of that, all on its own. And to the back, and relax there. All right, so there's a little bit of the floaty arm, low level. Think of when an octopus kind of floats its legs and puffs its way through the water. With feet, with legs involved. I'm going to hold on with one arm. I'm going to use the arm that I'm not holding on to, but just have a look. Do what we did and then have a look at the little change here. So we've got a one arm coming forwards and a little step forwards. We've got the arm to the side and we've got the step to the side. We've got the floaty arm to the back and we've got a step to the back, all on the opposite side. Changing to the other side, show you from a slightly different angle. Oh, I did the same arm. Hang on, scratch that. It's opposite arm to leg. So a little bend through that standing knee. And there we go. Have a few rounds on each side. So I'm going to go back to my left arm and right leg with a step. So you're keeping most of the weight over what will be your standing leg. I'm going to take that through again. Forwards, so the leg steps forwards. Sideways, so the leg steps sideways. And backwards, the leg steps on a slight diagonal back position there. If you've done a couple of rounds there, change on to the other side. I've done it again. Opposite arm to leg, Kelsey. Here's the back step. So here I'm using my right arm and left leg with a side step and a side float and a back step and a float to the back. One more time through I'll take on that side because that one needs a bit more rehearsal. So it's just a small step and a small shift of the weight. Now if you have something either side of you, you won't need to switch around. You can just kind of seamlessly flow into one side, into the other side. In seated, of course, keep going if you're happy to practice that through a few more times. Just whilst I mention this in seated, we've got an opposite arm to leg. Front and side steps are absolutely fine. The back step, try not to tuck your leg too far back, just a slight side and diagonally back step on that particular position. And in seated, just keeping all of your weight over your bum bones, with legs optional for you to use or keep them set. Now yesterday as well we did both arms together. So if we can flow through our forwards float, our sideways float and our backwards float, take that another round and then you'll feel the chest open in this position of the backwards float. All right, we're going to put that together now. We'll do it once round with the opposite arm to leg positions, once round on the one side, once round on the second side. The feet will come still and then we'll take it twice round with both arms involved, if that feels okay for you. Have a think of which side you'd like to start with first. So I'm starting left arm, right leg. So here we are with a step and a float, a sideways step and a float, a backward step and a float, and I'm getting ready to change sides now. So I've got my right arm and left leg to the side and to the back, and take a pause there. Release your support if you need it and just take that round twice with both arms involved. I'm going to come a bit closer for this last bit. Forwards, side. This is really easy and gentle on the shoulders as well. Take a pause there. We're going to go into our chest stretch first. Just take a few of those backwards floats. See how far you can press your floaty arms behind you. Do that 3 or 4 times. And then come to a position where the hands are on the hips, side of the hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift through the neck. Relax through the shoulders. If you're in seated, just reach your hands towards the back spindles and do the same. Feeling the stretch, just pulling gently, pulling specifically but not too harshly into the area in the front of your shoulder and your chest area, right, coming right through to your sternum, your breastbone there. If you've been leaning over, hunched over, rounded over through anything what you've done today, this will help to lift and open. Muscles can get more flexible over time, and sometimes it's the tightness of these chest muscles and shoulder muscles around the front that can have that pulling effect, that pulling in effect onto your shoulder joint there. So this is just reversing that. Relax and recover. In seated or standing, the upward side stretch. So hand onto your shoulder. This is the deodorant on, the shave your armpit, the reach to the back of your neck position here that we're trying to achieve. The reaching position, we've got some length coming into the trunk, into the back of the arm, under the armpit. We need this position in so many different things that we do day to day. And the extension of this position will help you to reach to those top cupboards, those higher spaces that sometimes can be tricky to reach. Stick here if you're happy though. Otherwise, straighten up, hold on to your external support or side of chair and extra reach. And this is a dip with your shoulder to get some extra length down the side. Relax, recover, come on out of it. Rather late, Mrs. Hewitt. Yes, you are. You could catch us up. Lifting, walking the fingers over as far as you can, but try and keep your head in a neutral position, a central position, rather than sticking it anywhere else to try and get that bit further. So lifting tall, feeling that in the back of the arm, maybe even around the underneath of your armpit, holding that. Sticking with this if this is where you want to be. If this is the part that you need to work to improve on, work through this. And if you want to take your arm up it goes. External support, side of chair, extra reach with a dip of the shoulder and a stretch from tips to hips. And a bit of a sort out of your jumper afterwards. Okay, we've got some lower body stretches and we'll do the inner thigh stretch today as well. So in standing, let's just have a look at the calf stretch. Just move my external support a little bit. Come quite close to external support. Don't want you too far away so that you end up hunching and rounding and reaching. So stand upright, stride backwards, adjust the heel so that your toes are pointing forwards, all 10 of them. Now, if your hips are opening to the side, try and square them off to the front, bend through the front knee. Now that long leg at the back is where you should feel the calf stretch. Hold it there. This is a 12, 15, 20, 25, up to 30-second hold if you like. Seated, posture, just active, upright and open. Toes are being pulled back. And there's 2 feelings you should get here. The main one we want to experience is the lengthening and stretching in the calf. The other one that you'll feel might be the muscle alongside your shin working, contracting. It might start to ache as it holds and fixes that ankle in position. If it does start to ache a bit and become a bit too uncomfortable, switch it off, change legs, go back to that leg again if you would like to. Get ready to change sides then. Whichever position you're in, seated or standing. A good old calf stretch helps us to walk better, gives us a bit more flexibility and movement around the ankle, can help us with our stride and our walking, and combined with the back of thigh stretch helps us to get down to our feet with a bit more comfort and ease as well. In standing, just a quick prompt on that. Second leg back, just check the toes are forwards, your hips are forwards, the knee is bent. Stay tall and long in your posture and spine. Both hands can be onto your external support, of course, and recover from there. All right, those of you in standing, just take a bit of a reverse to your chair. Take a steady, controlled, slow stand to sit, and then a bit of a hip walk coming forwards. Now, this forwards position in the chair is really crucial. If you're too far back, when you straighten your leg out, well, it might not go as much. But look the difference, just a couple of hip walks forwards makes that leg is all that more longer. I might not be any taller, but my leg's a bit longer. Loose ankle, loose knee, hands on the bent knee. Here we go with some lifting and lengthening through the posture. Feel that space increase between your rib cage and your hip bones, and then tilt forwards. Notice that this is a tilt from the hips rather than bending around through your spine. Try and pinch your shoulder blades back and down. Now we're holding this at a point of bite, a tension, a stretch tension. If that stretch tension relaxes, we want to progress it. So lean a bit further forwards, lengthen a bit more, and bring that bite back in to play. Hold it there. Sometimes some longer, deeper breathing can help relax the muscles. It's the stretch reflex that's just making you hold off from pulling any much further than is comfy. But the stretch reflex can relax a little bit, and so can we into the stretch a bit more. Change sides. That was a good long hold there. So loose ankle, loose knee, hands on the bent, lifting through. Really important for the posture here, as when we lift up, the muscles that crisscross over the hip joint and around the pelvis area that are attached to, that are the back of thigh muscles, start to lengthen through our posture changes as well. So hold it there, feel the stretch tension, just really focus on that muscle, tell it to relax through your breathing and your mind-body connection. Tell it to relax off, ease off, let you go that little bit further. And if you can, off you go. Press a little bit further into the stretch and then recover. Our final one is our inner thigh. So I'm just going to whiz my chair around to square it up to the front. I'm going to make sure my shorts are in a decent position. Just take your legs out a bit wider. If they need some assistance then to get wider, then give them a bit of a helping hand. Turn your toes out, 10 to 2, knees are the same. Try and sit up through your posture, exactly like you did a moment ago for the back of thigh stretch. Press onto the knees, and you're kind of coming into a sumo position. Sumo would be way down here though, and not sat down. So a kind of lazy sumo position, but we should get a good stretch along the inner thighs there. Notice whether your shoulders have come up here, right near your ears, and just try and lift. And as you lift, relax those shoulders down. I'm leaning forwards a little bit here. This particular movement will help you when you're getting in or out of the car or out of a bench where you need to take that wider stance. If you're stepping over anything, or if you're in the kitchen or something and you step and reach, we've got some inner thigh flexibility that allows us to do those big strides out wide. We're done. Right, we are... Hello, Bex. You found a squiddy emoji, have you now? I'll have to have a look at that one. Right, great to have you with me. This is Kelsey Leverton, or Leverton, Kelsey Leverton, signing off from today's movement snack. Have a lovely evening, whatever you're doing. And I'll see you at 4 p.m. tomorrow for another little bolt on to our octopusy sway routine. I'll see